Welcome to the second episode. I'm holding up 3. Welcome to the second episode of the aowhodis podcast. We finally landed on a name, aowhodis.
I love it.
How are you doing, O?
I love it. I'm good.
Good?
It's all right. I mean,
Dude,
it is what it is.
look at this. We got a lake in front of us. My fishing rod broke, and so we're really struggling.
Oh.
But it's gonna be a-okay.
Yeah.
My fishing rod broke doing the car thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't even break during the car part. It broke when I let go of it on the ground to get out of the car.
So what broke? Like, how did that happen? What is it?
The spinning part of the reel broke,
Yeah,
and so I can't put it. It has to be in its lowest position for me to cast out,
Okay.
or else I just can't do anything.
Oh, tree. Right into a tree. I hope that y'all saw that.
Hold on, I won't get stuck.
What a beautiful
No,
shot.
it'll be fine.
Oh, that was close. You almost wrapped.
I'll just go really slow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got my rod right here, but it's not set up yet. So let me do that.
Yeah, we're combining two things. I'm gonna get a couple practice swings in.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, oh no. Oh,
Good. Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah. So.
I'm gonna get a couple practice swings in, and then we're actually doubling up. We're doing a video coming up, fishing with no hands. And so we're gonna try to fish somehow with no hands.
This is gonna be so scuffed.
It's
man.
gonna be
I don't know
great.
how.
It's gonna be phenomenal, and I'm excited.
You know, I might have to take off my shoes and start using my feet here.
That's exactly. Oh, that's
Is
the
that what
first thing
you're
I was
gonna
gonna do, dude. That's the
Really?
first thing I was gonna.
You see me? I was thinking I was gonna
We
put
gotta
some
figure out a
elbows
better
in.
sort for the next podcast.
Yeah, I was thinking I'm gonna put my elbows in and hold it like this, but it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, last week, I don't know if you remember, we were talking about Chernobyl. I finished that show recently, and I have been doing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm fully snagged. This is the most
wow.
weedless rig ever.
Well, you're wrapped around the tree.
Dude, give me a break.
But yeah, so what I was saying was, I was watching Chernobyl, right? And amazing show, by the way. Like I said last time, I loved it. 10 out of 10. I was really interested in nuclear reactors, so I started looking about what, just other types of nuclear reactors and how they worked and everything. And I learned that recently. So Microsoft.
The company?
Microsoft, the company, right?
The software company?
Yep,
Windows?
exactly. They bought a nuclear power plant. They fully bought it, and they're gonna fully use it for AI training. Yeah. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
I totally believe it. Wait.
Because there's not enough power to sustain it, they literally bought a full nuclear reactor. Oh my God.
Dude, I almost just died twice.
Yeah, I saw you go like that. But I don't know. I think that's cool to me. I think that's cool that I want a nuclear reactor. I was thinking about this.
I want a nuclear reactor too, but I'll tell you why that scares me.
Why?
When AI gets atomic energy, I think we've gone too far. Whose idea? I just want to know whose idea was it at Upper Microsoft to go, that AI thing that people are talking about?
Yeah.
Let's give it nuclear power. Get Jimmy's bank account open. We got to buy a power plant. And so they did. And that's crazy. When did that happen?
I don't remember. I think pretty recently. I haven't done too much research into it. I was actually kind of
This is not funny.
That's exactly what I was doing last night. Instead of heading to bed, I was just doing research on Microsoft.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I cannot get this knot.
What's the coolest part that you found?
I mean, I pretty much already said the coolest. Oh,
You're
God,
good. No,
dude.
I had it
just
handled.
thought I was gonna die.
I had it handled.
Handled, nice.
Yep, it did. That was on purpose.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to dodge all the cameras.
That's fine. Here. This sucks. I hate monofilament, man. I don't hate it. It's definitely got its use, but it is just annoying to deal with sometimes. Dude. Again.
There's some people over there. Sorry.
You can't blame
Sorry about
them.
that.
You can't blame the people every time.
What's stuck? Where is it?
It's like blaming
Dude,
the
this is
water.
the worst fishing spot I've ever seen. I don't think we can do fishing with no hands here. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You can't.
Because I can't fish with hands.
Yeah.
Dude. Look at this.
And I can't get this
I'm
knot.
snagged in the tree.
Well, yeah, but you're not supposed to send it into the tree,
Dude, where do you fish?
The water. That way.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
This
funny.
is not funny. Dude, can we talk about the fact that I almost died today?
You didn't almost die. What happened?
What do you mean you were there?
Yeah.
Do
I don't know.
do you remember when we were filming this car thing? Okay, so we're doing a video coming up, fishing out of a car,
That's right.
And basically,
That's so exciting.
we're speeding down in a parking lot, trying to fish right into like a little small bucket. And we actually didn't end up doing it. We're gonna go back tomorrow and try to do it.
Yeah.
But I almost died.
All right.
When I was casting it out for like the 14 millionth time, I decided, you know what seems safe? Flicking it really hard
Oh
when
my
reeling in
God,
the
yeah,
reel.
I remember
And so
this.
what I decided to do was after I cast it out, after I blatantly missed, and you were still speeding down, I flinged it. It bounced off of a rock, landed right next, so what we hooked it up with was a weight and a bobber, so there was no hook. But that weight and that bobber is really heavy. And so it went in a trajectory straight for my face, and thankfully, because of my quick reflexes, I was able to disperse my head away from the impact, and it hit my neck instead.
Dude, it's insane. I saw you, like I saw your face. I saw you just looked crazy, and then you like turned a little bit, and there was like a little fucking like bobber right here.
We got it on
so
video.
Funny to
It'll
me.
probably be in the. If it's not in the video, you'll see it in this podcast right now. But I'm sure it'll make it into the video.
Yeah, that's funny, man. How you feeling about your aim though? You think it got any better?
Dude,
Never
I think it
mind.
got worse over time.
I was about to say.
As far as it definitely got worse over time.
Really?
It got so much worse. It's actually a problem.
What happened?
Well, you kept
Well,
going
you-
faster, and so I kept like missing more.
Oh, so it's me then.
Yeah.
You told me to go quicker.
I don't remember that.
We have it on recording. Ah, shoot. No way, I messed this up again, dude.
Dude, I might actually have to cut this.
Actually, is it bad?
Look at that.
Let me see.
Either we wait for the water to like
It ain't
settle
going
down.
It's not gonna happen.
I don't know if
Dude.
fishing with no hands is the spot. This might not be the spot for it.
Dude.
It's fine.
I'm gonna restart the knot. Golly. This is not going great. That is what it is. But yeah. Alright. Let me retry this.
Whatever. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, so shit. Dude, I was well no so
Podcasting's hard.
huh?
Nothing. Keep
Oh,
going.
I got you. Yeah, so I was talking to some fishermen earlier, like earlier this week, right? Yeah, I mean he's just one of my friends who I've been fishing with for a while, and I'm starting to realize now because he had brought we were planning on going fishing and he had brought one of his friends there as well, and I was just like, okay, sure, whatever, another fisherman, that's totally fine to me. That sounds fun, and the whole time, dude, like I think this guy is just he's the type that his whole personality is fishing and like country. And
How did he
just,
pull
like,
up?
He was just crapping on me the whole time.
Well, how did he pull up? Like, what was he wearing?
Well,
What was his tackle box
I
looking
got you.
like?
Well, he was driving a, what's the color? It was like a darker red truck, right? I think it was F-150, F-250. And he pulls up in jeans and I think just like a white t-shirt. But, I mean, he's kind of like a country, like you could tell. He goes fishing. But he was just very toxic about like what baits I was using, and like every time I'd cast and I'd reel it back in and I didn't have a fish on the line, he'd be like, oh, like you suck at fishing. And that kind of got me thinking, like, I'm a little bit
That kind of got me thinking, I do suck at fishing.
yeah, it was like
He's
it was
right.
a whole wake up call. No, not really. But that's kind of got me worried that I'm kind of scared for the community in general, because I feel like people are trying to like try hard too much in fishing sometimes. Like sometimes people just don't take it like lightly.
Well,
I'm a little
fishing's
bit
like
worried
row.
about
Look at that. Look where it ended up now.
Dude. Oh, the hook's not on. Be careful. Redo the hook.
Oh, I gotta make it. Hold on. I think fishing's a lot like rock climbing. You either don't do it or it's literally your whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Dude, have you met a rock climber?
Yeah.
I do this like rock climbing club at my college. And if you've never rock climbed, you can probably do what's called a V2. And you max out at like a V9, V10, V11. I don't even know how
Oh,
high
so
it goes.
up like how does that work? How does the system work?
I don't know how it works, but like the higher the V level, the harder it is when you're bouldering, which is just like rock climbing without a harness.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
you're going like a couple feet off the ground, and there's there's ground, a soft landing, so you'll be fine. But basically, you see what I mean? You see? Oh, that's gonna kill me. Hold on, do it to the left.
That actually got stuck. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. This is a very rough area. This is some tough fishing.
All right, I can't even fish with hands. That is stuck.
That's what I'm saying. This is not the spot.
I might have to cut it.
We might just have to do the. You jumped to the conclusion of you might have to cut it so quickly.
Trust me,
That's actually gonna.
I am like, I know knots, okay? Knots know me. I'm familiar. I've been through this before. You see this bend?
I'll join you.
You see that parabolic bend of the rod?
I'll join you. Don't you
Alright.
worry.
No. That way. All right. All right.
Oh, you hear that?
There you
That was
go.
a splash instead of a.
Okay.
This is the worst spot to fish single.
I don't.
Dude, our first fishing spot wasn't even a fishing
my
spot.
first cast.
It was a field.
Man.
Our first fishing spot was a field, and we're getting like
You know what sucks is we were closer to the lake then than we were now.
Literally, dude. No, you know what's? We're gonna get closer and closer to water, and then eventually we'll actually go to a lake. Like right now we're in like kind of a lake. Like this isn't supposed to. It's just flooded because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get closer and closer to a lake until we finally end at a lake. Like we're supposed to be able to walk across all of that.
Yeah. Eventually we might actually catch a fish on this channel.
Oh, it won't happen for a while. You notice how all of our fishing content has nothing to do with actually catching a fish.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing.
Yeah. that's
Because
true.
we can't catch a fish to save our life.
Eventually.
If
Ooh.
you guys have any advice, please, we'll
Shoot.
take anything.
Oh God, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Oh. All right.
What was I talking about? Rock climbing?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's some people at my rock climbing gym who can do V9s. And for context, I physically can't do like a V4. You
Really?
know what I mean? And so it's like, and I've been rock climbing for like a year. And so it's their whole, like it's,
Sorry.
have you ever heard of Alex Honnold?
Alex, yeah,
Dude.
of course. He free soloed El Capitan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically
That mountain.
he basically just went up like 4,000-foot mountain without rope, free solo. Insane.
And survived.
That's a great
And he's
story.
apparently not the only person to do it.
He's actually a very interesting person. I was
See?
watching a documentary about the thing. It's called Free Solo on National Geographic.
Oh yeah, on Disney Plus. First thing I ever watched on Disney Plus.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were telling me that when they were running tests on his brain, that he actually didn't have, or his, I believe, amygdala wasn't like functioning properly, so he wasn't actually getting nervous or sweaty or scared. Like he had a defect in his mind to where he actually just wouldn't get scared, which is crazy to me. Like it's not just that he's been doing it for a while; it's that his mind is literally set up for
That's
climbing,
insane.
and that's so cool to me. I mean, that kind of makes me wonder. Like ever since then, I've kind of wanted to do like a brain test like he did, just because I wonder if I have stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like stuff where, like, just one little brain change might make me really good.
I
at
think you
one
have all
thing,
the
you
brain
know?
changes.
Hmm?
Never mind, keep going.
Yeah,
was
but
trying to
I just think it would be
don't worry
cool
about
it'd be cool to know that, like, I wonder if I think my amygdala works, but what if my hippocampus like overproduces or something?
Your
you know?
hippocampus?
Yeah,
Is that actually a part of the brain?
hippocampus? Yeah, that's memory.
Oh, you think you have really good memory?
No, I don't.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, like, what if I have something like that and I don't even know it? You know, what if I'm really good at something and I don't even know it?
Well, let's think.
Okay.
What are you good at?
Not
My-
fishing.
This is ridiculous.
This
We
is
both got
crazy.
stuck in the same tree.
I'm fishing with no hands though.
Well,
Wait, hold
it's tough because oh look, we're doing
on.
it.
Yeah, right.
It's
don't know.
tough because there's so many trees and not enough
Fish.
water. There's more. I thought that like tell me this area doesn't seem like a prime location for some fish.
You would think they'd be under these trees.
All right,
They're just
next
laughing
podcast,
at us.
we need to separate us more and move the cameras back so we have actual room to fish.
Really? Okay. I feel like I have room. I'm just shitty. I'm just a bad fisherman. Yeah, that was expected. You
No.
crossed me.
I did?
Yeah, look.
Oh, that's my fault. Hold on, I'll fix it.
Right to the left.
Well, I'm in the fish on. Oh, just kidding.
Your tree on, dude. Get away from me.
I have a handle. Don't you worry.
I hope y'all can see this because this is madness. There you
See?
go.
Just like that.
I don't want to cut it. This is unfortunate.
Man, we gotta.
I
Let me
wonder
think.
what the biggest fish in North Carolina is.
I don't know.
Like, don't count coastal.
Your
Or
mom.
Washington, yeah. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Oops, my fault.
Funny.
It is what it is.
I have a question.
What's up?
Ooh, hear that?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's just the waves. I'm sorry. I thought it was a
Okay.
fish. I have a question. I feel like you'd have a good answer to this. If you were a ghost, so let's say you died a tragic death. Let's say you fell off a cliff.
Okay. Oh, damn.
And you passed away,
Right.
and so now you're dead.
Yeah.
And you turn into a ghost.
Okay.
Who's the first person you're haunting?
Who's the first person I'm haunting?
And what are you doing?
Okay.
And not me.
That's a good question. Can I ask a question first?
Sure.
What events led up to me falling off this
Yeah,
cliff?
so basically you were hiking, and you were with yourself, and so there's your first
Just
mistake.
me? Yep.
Yeah,
Horrible
and
mistake.
then you're on the edge of a cliff, and you said, I just watched this Alex Honnold thing of free soloing El Capitan. Maybe I can free solo El Hill over here.
Really?
You know what I mean? And so it's like a 10-foot hill, and so you're jumping up, climbing up even, and you realize, ooh, this isn't like the V3s I do back at rock climbing.
Yeah.
And so you fall, but you save yourself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you save yourself.
Okay, so you didn't die then.
And so you're like, dude, I gotta take a picture of this. This is great.
Yeah.
And you try to take a picture, but you drop your phone.
Uh-huh.
And so you jump for the phone. And then you catch the phone, but the ground caught you.
Okay. Dang, man.
Thankfully, though,
I sound like a horrible climber.
the iPhone 15 or the iPhone 16 Pro Max
Oh my
has
gosh.
very good durability. And so
You and your iPhones, man.
The phone was A-okay. It actually captured everything.
What's up with you and Apple? Why do you love them so
Dude,
much?
I have yet to set foot in an Apple store since they revealed the Apple Vision Pro.
Why?
Because I would go in and I would immediately buy it.
You don't think you could, like, self-control?
No. I'd see the Apple store. I'd be like, okay, I gotta hop in. I gotta test the Apple Vision Pro because they let you do demos. I'd demo it and I'd say, I need this right now. And then I'd say, here's my credit card. And they'd say, your credit limit is not high enough.
So
and
it's
then
like
I'd
a
say,
self-discipline
And then
thing.
I'd say, let me go to the bank. And then they'd say, okay. And I'd go to the bank and the mental warfare that is happening to me in my brain in the car on the way to the bank
Yeah.
to get the money for the Apple Vision Pro
Yeah.
is otherworldly. It is, I'm going through withdrawals. I want to kill everybody. I want to save everybody. It's terrible. You know what I mean? And so
see.
I go to the bank and I ask the bank lady, I say, hey, I'm going to withdraw $3,500 from my bank account. And she says, I say this reluctantly, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I have to withdraw. I have to withdraw 35K. And she's like, that isn't gonna work because you have $35,000 in your bank account.
$35,000?
$3,500 in your
Okay.
bank account minus the 3 and the 5 in the front,
Oh, okay. I
which
see.
is zero.
Double zero, yeah.
It's double zero.
Yeah, nice.
Right, and so
Twice the
it's
zeros.
so many zeros.
Yeah.
And so
Well, that's okay. That's why you
she's
got
like,
a credit card.
Okay, that's what I said. I'm like, can I open a new credit card?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let me pull out 35.
For sure. And I'm like, okay, bet, because my credit score is great.
Yeah.
Funny enough. Not anymore. Ooh, I see what you did there with it. Yes.
Clip, yeah.
And so I have 2 credit cards now.
Yeah.
Both have a credit limit not high enough, but together they
Infinite
have a
money.
credit limit.
Yeah.
Together they have infinite credit limit. And so I go back to the Apple store. I say, hey, what's
Guess
up?
what? Yeah.
Remember me?
Yeah.
2 hours ago, I was like, I need to buy this thing.
All of a sudden, you're their best
and
friend.
then I'm like, can I buy this? And he's like, sure. And so I say, here's my credit card. And they're like, okay, you got not enough. I'm like, here's my second credit card. I'm like, this looks new. The sticker's still on it. And I'm like, don't worry about it.
They know you.
Don't worry about it. And then the guy in the back says, hey, didn't you come here last week doing the same thing? And I said, no, it was a different guy.
Okay, so for you, it's like a self-discipline of like walking into the store thing.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. I got a question for you then.
Okay.
Do you think that self-discipline or self-motivation is more important?
Ooh, wow. We've talked about this in
We've
length
talked about it a
before.
little bit, but I'm curious what your deep thoughts are.
Self-discipline or self-motivation?
Which one's more important?
Okay, define both.
Okay. That's a good question.
Because
think that-
they are actually more interchangeable than you might think.
Really? How so?
You can discipline yourself to perform behavior, but you can also motivate yourself to perform behavior. I guess not that similar. Disregard my previous statement.
Yeah, use two different words in the same time. Okay. Well, I think self-motivation is finding.
Oh,
Bro.
keep going.
Okay. I think self-motivation is finding what drives you and what brings you to actually going to work and doing the things that you think are productive in your life, you know? And that's obviously different for everybody. That things that are productive may look different, and it's sometimes even hard to see what's exactly productive. But I think self-motivation is finding what drives you to get to those things. And self-discipline is disregarding the drives and realizing that you have to do the thing. And so self-discipline is getting yourself to do the thing even when you have no drives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's what I
so
think today.
then discipline's much more important.
Think so?
And you can actually forget about motivation entirely, and it shouldn't even be a factor.
How so?
That stopped recording.
Okay, good. I wonder when it stopped.
I don't know, we just gotta keep an eye on it.
Yeah, it passed.
What'd you say?
I got you. But yeah, basically, I mean, self-discipline is, or self-motivation is finding what drives you and using those things to actually get the things you need done. And self-discipline is disregarding the drives completely, realizing you have to do it no matter what's going on, and just doing it. And that's the skill and the skill of self-discipline is how hard of a task it is, and you're still able to do it, you know.
Yeah, so discipline is much more important.
How so?
Motivation can be completely forgotten about.
Why so?
Because you can be motivated to do anything for. I think that discipline is accepting the fact that you're going to do it. Like no matter what, you know what I mean? Like you've just accepted the fact that you have to do this. Like I have to go to school today.
Right.
I really don't want to. It's gonna suck, but I've accepted the fact that I have to do this, and so I'm disciplined about going to school. And the people who aren't disciplined,
They don't want to, so they don't.
They find a loophole. They're like, wait, I don't have to do this.
Right.
And so I think that this is very interesting. So the people who are the most disciplined don't actually expend self-control trying to be disciplined. They just accept the fact that they're going to do it, and they just become an ocean of. They basically consume all negative emotion and just perform the behavior because they've already accepted that they're going to perform the behavior. I think you just get told you're disciplined when you do things that you've already accepted you're going to do and that are socially accepted as hard. But the person who's actually doing them on a long time frame doesn't even call it discipline, they just call it life.
I see.
Okay, so if you could take all of the random thoughts that I just spouted in my head to that one, like forget about all of them and just keep that one sentence. That's true. The people who actually perform the behaviors that are quote, quote, disciplined are on a long time frame. So discipline, I guess, is just motivation on a long time frame.
Really interesting. I wouldn't have thought about it like that. I would have thought about it like, well, for me, what I think about is I don't see how long, and the question is how long can you stay self-disciplined, just realizing you have to do it before you start thinking like, okay.
I don't think that's discipline anymore. I think that's motivation.
How so?
How long am I going to stay disciplined for? I don't think that's discipline. I think it's motivation. I think motivation is when you do a behavior that you don't normally do and you're impressed by the fact that you did it. Discipline is when you do a behavior that you've already accepted that you're going to do and it's normal. Your baseline is that, right? And so people who eat healthy and don't care about eating healthy, it's just a part of their lives. It's just that, a part of their lives, right? And it's just their baseline is healthy. People who don't eat healthy eat unhealthy and then eat healthy because they're motivated for a little bit. So we can probably say motivation is the gap between your baseline behavior and the behavior that you want to do. Is that okay? So hold on. Motivation. So your baseline behavior is discipline. I'm disciplined in whatever. I can walk very well. I'm disciplined in my walking, right? And so you have your baseline behavior, and then any behavior that exceeds that. So it's like if you don't eat healthy, it's eating healthy, and if you eat healthy, it's eating really healthy, right? Any behavior that exceeds your baseline behavior, those are actions based on motivation.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I can see why you say that discipline and motivation are interchangeable now.
Yeah, but does that make sense?
Not really.
Okay. You want me to try again?
Yeah.
Okay, so your baseline behavior are things you do every day without thinking.
Right.
That's your baseline behavior. when you do something that is beyond your baseline behavior. For example, if your baseline is to go to class every day of the week and then leave right after, and you say, I'm gonna stay a little extra and talk to my professor today. That action is beyond your baseline behavior, which would be an action based on motivation. That gap between your baseline behavior and the improved action is motivation, and the baseline behavior is discipline. Does that make sense?
Sort of. Well, to me, it sounds like the gap in between what
I've never thought about this before either.
I got you. Yeah. I'm going it through with you. The gap between your baseline behavior, right, and what you think is better for you, like your baseline life and the life that you think is better for yourself. That gap, when you do it, that's motivation, you're saying.
Yeah, when you do it once. But if you've done it for 5 years straight and you do it without thinking about it anymore, it goes from motivation and becomes discipline. I think discipline's more of an identity shift.
Really? See,
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I've never heard of that before. I've never actually heard somebody say that. It starts as motivation and
I mean, yeah, I think it has to start as motivated. Like, you can't not be motivated to lose weight. You know what I mean? In certain, like you can't help be motivated sometimes, you know? Like, everybody's motivated sometimes.
Right. I mean, I feel like self-motivation, the skill of self-motivation is being able to motivate yourself to do anything, right? And so for me, if I had the chance to either motivate myself to do anything or be disciplined enough to be able to do anything, I would actually choose motivating, because to me that seems like if I'm motivated to do something, if I think I'm motivated, I think, okay, there's a reason why I'm doing this. There's a whether it be internal or external, there's some type of motivation here that's causing me to be better. And so if I had the choice to be like, either amazing at self-motivation or amazing at self-discipline, to be honest, I would choose motivation. And that's obviously a different question of which one you think is more important, right? Because, I mean, it's just a different question in general, but would your answer change if you had the option to be, obviously it's hard, but a master at self-motivating yourself internally or having self-discipline?
So if I could motivate myself whenever I wanted?
Right.
Well, then yeah, of course, but I don't think that exists. I think that's impossible. To always be motivated to do, no, I don't think that's, I think if the choice existed, of course, but I don't think that's possible.
Right, but what I'm saying is, from that, I can see why people would focus their time on self-motivation instead of just going fully on discipline.
But
like you said, disregard motivation completely. I still disagree with that. I don't think you should disregard motivation completely. I think being able to internally self-motivate with internal desires, I think that is a strong
I think you can self-motivate with
trait.
internal desires in the moment. Like, I'm very motivated today to do this podcast because it's still very new and exciting.
It is in the moment, or it could
And
be
then
premeditated.
In the 3-year mark, I'm not going to be this excited. I'm not going to be this motivated, like, no matter what.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And so us doing the podcast and performing the same, if not hopefully better, is not dependent on our motivation. It's dependent on our discipline, which you can change the word discipline to be identity. Like, what's my identity in? You know what I mean? Like, I am a healthy person, so I eat healthy.
People use discipline like that, yeah.
And so, like I said, discipline, I think, is just what you happen to be called when you've done an impressive behavior for a long period of time. But I don't think the people who do the impressive behavior for a long period of time call themselves disciplined. They just call themselves normal, and that's their normal. And so I don't think it's discipline.
So that's not self-discipline.
I think that both should be ignored.
What should
Who
they
cares?
focus on?
Just do it. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of how you feel, whether you're motivated or not motivated, that shouldn't matter. You should just do it. Layla Hormozi has that frame where it's like, stick to the plan.
Yeah.
She says, F your feelings, stick to the plan.
Sure.
That's what, I think she has like a posted, I don't know, she uploads it on her stories a lot. And I like that a lot. It's something that I started to implement a couple months ago. It's just like, it doesn't matter how you feel, just do what you said you were going to do.
Right.
Regardless of how disciplined you are, regardless of how motivated you are, just do it. And then you will be called disciplined after you've done it super long. But for you, it'll just be normal. It won't even be disciplined. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits, where it's like the people who really do the behavior, they don't think it's impressive. They just do it. You know what I mean? They just do it because they've formulated their environment and a couple other things. He gets into details, but the point is, it's just like it's just a part of their life. Like people who say, again, this is an atomic habit thing. James Clear says this. It's like people who say, like if you say, if you're a drinker, if you're a big drinker,
Sure.
and you're trying to quit, and you say, I'm trying to quit drinking.
That's stupid. Yeah.
You're still framing yourself as a drinker, and you're trying to quit. Rather, I am not a drinker. That is my identity. You know what I mean? And then that's there's a spider.
I know. I've been watching it. It's all good.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, it's an identity thing. I think if we're getting to the root of the thing, and I'm talking for a while, but this is a podcast, so
Keep going, man.
If we're getting to the root of the issue, which is like, do you want to perform the behavior or not? Focus on that. Don't focus on motivation or discipline or like self-help or whatever. Just do it.
Well, I mean, if you're not able to do it, right, what should you be thinking about? Because not everybody can just do it. I mean, it's easy to say just do it, but that's not a solution.
I think you can form your environment to make it easier. If you want
Sure,
like practical,
yeah.
like
Exactly,
like if you're
yeah.
trying to eat healthy.
Yeah, I don't think the answer is just to do it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean fundamentally, I think it is. It's just like you can. Like if you're trying to eat healthy, don't buy unhealthy food and make sure your kitchen's clean for that. So the late night munchies come in, you can eat like healthy stuff instead of unhealthy stuff. You know what I mean? And so it's like you can formulate your environment, and then I mean it's like cue, craving, response. Like when you get a cue, you can willpower yourself to stop doing the thing, or you can just. This is a whole nother thing.
go ahead.
So.
Man, I wish I.
Yeah, you're still snagged. When you have a cue, I don't know. Let's not get into that.
Okay.
Yeah. What was your original question?
It's not gonna work. Yeah. I mean, that's a very complex topic of the answer I think is just do it. Like that is the solution, but
Yeah.
it's
so
delivering it in a way.
so like, what should people do if they can't just do it?
That's it is, but that's
What do you
that's
think
a hard
people should do
question to
if
answer.
they can't just do it? That's a good question.
What should people do? You know what? To be honest with you, I'm not not ready to give
I'd
advice on
start
it.
with saying, it's not that you can't do it; it's that you won't do it.
Yeah. Oh
I'd start
yeah,
with saying
that's a
that.
big thing for me. Whenever somebody says that, I'll be like, can't or won't. I ask that to people all the time.
I would start with that,
Mm-hmm.
and so reframe the can't as a won't.
Yeah, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not ready to answer that question in my life. You know what I mean? I can't. I mean, I can give you some advice, but I'm not.
All I
good
got
enough for it,
is change your environment and reframe can't to won't. That's our advice for those addicts out there.
I'm gonna stand up real quick and I'm gonna try to get this thing out.
Is it raining? Why am I getting wet?
After I stood up.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Dude, if we catch a fish... Dude, which side of the tree is this on? We didn't think this went through.
Well, the dock. See, we planned on doing this at a dock, right?
No, we didn't plan on doing it at the
Well,
podcast.
not the pod,
at the
but
dock. And we also planned on doubling up.
we planned on fishing.
We
at the
planned
dock.
on making fishing with no hands this too.
That's right.
And so we did not do that, and so we're going to have to do that tomorrow.
Can't even fish here.
For the rest of the day today, we got to make a Bob Ross thing, and then we're doing a competition.
Oh yeah.
We're doing a we're fishing while watching a Bob Ross tutorial, and then this is gonna be fun. We're doing a fish competition. We're gonna throw a target into the water.
Ooh.
First to get the target like 3 times in a row or whatever. Other person jumps in the pond.
Hope you're ready for a swim.
And so we might do that here, or we might not. We'll see.
Man, screw this place. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's not the place's fault.
No, it is the place's fault. I don't know what
You
you're
hit a
talking
tree
about.
again.
I hit a tree, but it's in the water now.
There's not even I don't even think there's fish here. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're on the other
Dude,
side.
being on a podcast makes me realize I hate this stupid thing. There's got to be a way to avoid this.
What's
There's
that?
got to be some malware I can put in this thing.
Did it
to
restart?
to make it not do it.
Wow.
It's crazy how being on a podcast makes me realize how much I don't like articulate my thoughts. You know what I mean? Like when I'm thinking to myself, I think like 3 times on the same thought and then move on to the next. But you
Really?
can't do that when you're talking.
Yeah.
Like you just have to keep going.
Right.
And
right.
so it's weird.
You just gotta keep talking.
I'm actually glad we're doing this just to like teach me how to talk better.
Yeah, I really like this. Ever since yesterday's, I've been watching podcasts, just learning. We're watching some Joe Rogan last night.
I didn't think it was hard until I started doing it, and I'm like, wow, this is kind of tough.
Yeah.
Just like talking, cause like it's weird.
I don't know. It was a little bit hard, like the first 10 or 15 minutes of the first one, and it's not too hard. No.
We're different than how we usually are, though, right now, and I don't like that.
Really? Well, if we were how we usually were, we wouldn't be talking this whole time, and it'd have to be different. Think about it like that.
You don't think we'd be talking this whole time how we usually were?
No, at least not about stuff that would be interesting. I think we'd say some stupid bits, a lot about our own life, and we'd think it's funny.
Tough, 'cause
and
we talk
inside
about our
jokes
own
that
life
we've talked about a while.
Inside jokes, yeah.
And we'd have to explain it. And so, oh, a little jumping spider. Look at this guy. What's good, buddy? Dude, jumping spiders are actually they're
Venomous?
No, the exact opposite. So they're they're very, from what I've heard, they're very curious creatures, and so like they'll come up to you and they'll like understand you. They're very smart. He's staring at me. We're talking. Hey, buddy.
Huh.
What on?
Put it in both your fingers like this, and then go like this. Smish it.
What's wrong with you, bro? I'm about to name him. Oh,
What's
he's
his name?
Sorry, buddy. His name is Fuzzy. He's kind of furry. I'm gonna name him 8 Legs.
Wow, how come? I don't get that one.
Because he's missing a leg. He's only got 7. What's up, 8 Legs? Oh, that's a horrible
Dude, when
name.
did the water get louder? Who turned the volume
I
up on
think
the
a
water?
boat passed by.
Huh?
I think a boat passed by. Let me know in the comments if a boat passed by. I wasn't even watching. Look at this guy. Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
It's crazy how you took one cast.
Yeah, first cast. I don't want to give up on it, to be honest.
We need a counter of how many. It's a whole thing. Owen, every time he casts, like every time, every time the first cast, he's always like, "Ah, man," and then I hear like the tree go.
It's not my. Okay. Let me. It might be my fault. I don't want to say that it's not my fault, guys.
It's the tree, dude.
Dude, who puts a fishing spot next to all these trees?
I don't know who put a fishing spot here, dude. Helena put a fishing
It's
spot
crazy.
here.
No, it's supposed to be like the water level's always supposed to be up. It's been raining, but horrible spot.
Yeah, I don't know whose idea was to stay. We should have just gone back to the other place. I'm just kidding. We were gonna go back to the other place we were gonna go to, and I was like, no, let's stay here and do the podcast. And he's like, okay. And I guess it was a mistake.
Well,
don't worry, next podcast we'll get really close to water, and we might even like fish into like a place that we could actually catch a fish.
We might be able to actually cast next time.
We're evolving though, because the first podcast was on land.
Yeah.
We were fishing on land. Next podcast was on water. Like we're in the water. Like our bait's in the well, my bait's in the water. Yours actually hasn't touched the water yet. My bait's in the water, and then
I'm literally, yeah, that sucks. I'm about to leave here with my line dry. That's crazy. It didn't even.
That's funny.
Yeah. It is what it is. You know where I want to fish? You know where I think I actually might have a chance? I want to fish in the Bass Pro Shops pond little thing. You know what I'm talking about, their aquarium?
Mm-hmm.
That, I think I would catch a fish. Because they got to be hungry.
How is that possible?
What?
I just turned it on.
Oh.
There's got to be a. I don't know. This
Whoa.
thing just hates me.
What the?
What?
What did bro just connect to?
I don't know, but they can't see that, so.
Oh, yeah, I know. Sorry, I realized I got distracted. All right, back. Yeah, no, that's what. No, I think that my highest likelihood of catching a fish is got to be Bass Pro Shops aquarium, because I've been looking through there and those fish look kind of hungry. Like they were coming up to me with no bait. I think I could just put my hand in there. I wonder.
I want to go in the aquarium. I want to be a merman
You want to be a merman?
and just like swim in there with the fish.
Dude, that's actually like, there's a job like that, and I was watching this, there's this crazy bar in Vegas that it costs, I mean, obviously every drink costs a ton, you know, it's prestigious as hell, but they have like actual mermaids, dude. Like they have, oh, he's on you now.
Yeah, I
You flicked him.
Oh, is that why he's called a jumping spider?
Yeah,
Because he jumps?
yeah. It's very cool. They're very cool. But yeah, this expensive bar literally had a mermaid, and like they had they stayed down there for like they did like oxygen training.
How
was
did
just
it
this random
stop again?
person.
Something's not right.
Yeah,
I guess you're not getting a front view today, guys. Sorry about that.
that's crazy. What's going on with it?
I don't know. Who cares? I mean, I'm still gonna keep all this in. Look, we
Yeah,
have two
yeah,
side
yeah.
views in the back, but for some reason this camera just doesn't like recording for long. It stopped again. Dude, just go.
Is it
Oh,
dead?
what are we out of storage?
Oh, that might be it. I wouldn't be surprised.
That can't be possible because I cleaned the storage.
Yeah, we might be out of storage.
Oh, is there even an SD card in there right now? Hold on. There is.
What is it saying?
Oh, now my socks are wet.
That is the worst feeling.
All right, it just doesn't have any more minutes of video. All right, I guess you guys are done with the front view. Sorry about that. You'll survive. Our viewership won't survive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Our viewership's already tanked.
Nope.
How do you podcast? We gotta like,
Not gonna happen. Dude, that one was like,
look at that. Oh, it's a little spider.
dude, it went,
I hope they can see that on the video. Probably not.
it went up around the tree and back in the water.
That's just my aim.
What a catch. Dude, that fish would have a trip if you actually caught something.
Oh, wait, hold on.
If you
That's
catch
cool.
something, like the trees
I'm
can
gonna let it sit there. Like, come on. There's gonna be a bass just like
Yeah, there's gotta be like a 10-pound like something here.
something like that.
10-pounder, yeah. What were we saying?
Nothing actually.
Oh, I got you.
Nothing. Oh man, podcasting started. See, here's our conundrum.
Mhm.
We need to write down our ideas because it's on my phone, and guess what's also recording right now?
What's
on,
that?
on my phone.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
If I were to guarantee you
27.
an extra year, that's a good
I'm
answer.
sorry. Thank you.
If I were to guarantee you an extra year of life to go, and I'd pay for everything, I would give you a school bus, right? Like a full school bus. No. Yeah, we'll keep it with a school bus. And you had to drive around the entire country for a full year, or like around North America for a year. And you'd be guaranteed an extra year of your life, so you wouldn't be losing any time. Would you take it?
What the what? What?
Okay, so the question is,
I hope I'm not the only one who just did not understand it all.
okay, I'll rephrase. So the thing is, I will guarantee you an extra year of life, so you wouldn't be losing any life from it.
Dude, it's
But-
so funny that we're both just snagged and
Now this is like the podcast. This
is the
This is
podcast.
great.
keep going.
Yeah. So basically, if you had the option, would you go take a bus around like North America for a whole year? Just go if it was fully free and you'd be guaranteed like an extra year of life, so you wouldn't lose.
So
any
just
time.
like okay.
Would you
Then
take
yes.
it? You'd take
But
it,
only for the reason of the fact that I wouldn't lose the time.
right?
Because there's zero downside.
Mhm.
So what's the, like I'd do anything, basically.
I got you. Well, you'd have to leave everything here.
Yeah, for a year, yeah.
You
I mean,
do
an
it?
extra year of my life, like of course.
Okay.
And I wouldn't lose the time. So would everything just stay the same? Like would I leave right now and come back and we'd still be doing this podcast right now?
No, nothing would stay the same. Everything would continue going on without you.
Oh,
That's the question. So would you leave your entire life and
but I
everything?
get an extra year on the back end.
Well, an extra year. No, you don't get an extra year. You just don't lose a year. You know what I mean?
So if you live to 76, you live to 77.
Exactly. But that extra
that
year
extra
would be
year you
taken
did.
away from you in the bus.
What am I doing?
You got to drive around and
Where?
explore. Just go find
Anywhere?
yourself
Oh.
throughout all of North America. Would you take it? I would. I think that'd be cool.
Do I have to take it right now? Can I wait on it?
You get 18 hours of preparation.
But do I have to take it right now?
Yeah,
Like,
you
can I
gotta,
wait
you gotta
till
say
I'm, like,
yes or no
30?
right now. Yeah. You'd have to leave in 18 hours. That's what I'm saying.
I would if I had like a companion, but do solo? Would it be solo? Then
Gotta be
no,
solo.
probably not. Well, that's a
Interesting.
good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Because
'Cause-
you could really find yourself out there.
Yeah,
Obviously that's hard, but
I probably life's about it. I probably would.
Mhm.
Life's about experience. I probably would.
that sounds awesome. Who'd you take?
I thought you said I'd go solo.
Yeah, I mean, if you had the option, who would you take?
Either a good friend or a female companion, if I ever had one of those. But currently, rocking the single life, so
Yeah.
not that.
Until you're in a fight and you gotta like split
Until
the bus
we're in a
in two.
spite, we gotta like take a Sharpie and just go like
Yeah.
straight down the middle.
I mean,
And
at least
then we
there's
hate
two
each other.
doors. You could literally have two.
Yeah, we just like cut the bus in half, and
If
then
you're
just,
low
like,
on money, you
drop
could
the
rent out the
drywall.
back half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Sublet it out.
We can just sublease the bus.
Yeah.
We'll sublease the back half of the bus.
It
could
comes furbished, dude. It comes with seats.
Dude, no way I'd make an expedition of a business thing.
That'd be
That's so
actually
what
really
I
cool.
would do.
Because then you could just put like a big pillow in the very middle, and you can have like a full row bed.
I would probably make the back half a fort, and the front half like utility, but the back
Yeah.
half's a fort,
Really?
like a pillow fort,
Interesting. No,
like a maze. Like a half a bus, you take out all the seats.
yeah.
Like that would be a good fort.
That's a good.
It could be double decker fortage.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great.
Fortage.
It would be great.
Nice. Yeah, I think I would actually do the back half would be like where all my living stuff is and my everything. And then maybe the front half, it would have just a kitchen. And then that would be like the party place. Like, you know what I mean? Like where I have couches and where I'd have everything, man. I'd have a TV, I'd have LED lights. I would really pimp this bus out. It would be like the inside of the battle bus, basically. Like you hear how happy they are before they have to leave in Fortnite.
Yeah, and then they have to leave and go kill everybody.
Yeah.
But I honestly, no, I don't know. I still like the fort idea.
The fort? What would your fort be? What would it?
Pillow
what do you
fort,
mean?
and it'd have multiple. It'd
Pillow
have
fort.
multiple.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't even thinking. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Dude, I hope that. How is that truck so loud?
I don't know.
I hope that in 100. What's up, bro? I hope in 100 episodes from now, you guys see, like, the difference in how we act, because this is not how we act. Like, we're acting so different. Especially, I'm noticing you specifically acting very different. What was the question?
Well, we were talking about
And
what
me
your
too.
fort was, but
Oh, the fort.
what do you think we act different? How so?
I don't know. We're just not trying to. I get like we have to talk, so it's harder. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Podcasting is tough. We gotta come prepared. I don't know. But the fort thing though. What was the question?
Well, what do you mean by pillow fort, bro? As soon as you start driving, that stuff is all
I
coming down.
would reinforce it with duct tape,
Oh my god.
and so it'd be
This guy.
mattresses on each side.
Flimsiest fort ever.
Mattresses on each side, reinforced with duct tape. Dude, duct tape.
Oh, and I'm honestly I'm a gorilla tape kind of guy. I've been messing with it.
Flex tape. Oh, I'd put some flex tape on that
tape.
quick.
You could have a waterproof.
Oh my! I'll do
could have a
water
submarine.
beds. No, that's stupid. Mattresses
Water
on each
beds,
end,
that's crazy.
and then pillows with blankets on top. No, I'm sorry. So the first level, you got the ground of the bus, right? Just like the
First
metal.
level. How big is your bus, dude?
It's a bus, dude. You have 2 levels.
Nuh-uh.
It's crawling. You're crawling.
What do you? Oh,
So you go in. The front doors. You're crawling.
So you'd crawl
You
in.
crawl in.
Crazy.
The top. There's 2 mattresses on each end.
Yeah.
The top, and there's like hallways.
Okay.
So there's a hallway into the main section,
Yeah.
and then it's like a maze. Like you can go around, and then you can go up to the second level, which is on mattress. So you're crawling on a mattress on the second level, which is reinforced with Gorilla, Duck, or Flex tape.
Okay.
Whatever you decide.
Glad you thought about it.
And then yeah, the second level can be the party level.
So you're gonna need a short female companion.
We'll
then.
get a disco ball. We can crawl, both of us.
Dude, you know what this sounds like? This sounds like the construction of like the Titanic submarine. So the question was duct tape or gorilla tape, you know?
They didn't have
That
flex
was
tape
the
back
hardest,
then.
yeah.
They didn't have flex tape. If they had flex tape back then, it would be A-okay.
Man, they did, because flex tape that's an old commercial. That's an old meme, man, when you think about it.
Not Titanic old.
Well, no, I mean the Titanic
Did you-
submarine, the new one that crashed like 2 years ago.
Dude, was it really called Titanic?
No, it was like Sea Ventures or
Yeah.
something.
That was the
Ocean
company.
Ventures.
What about it?
something Venture? Well, you didn't hear
I heard it crashed.
Yeah, so they had this was about like a year ago now, which is already crazy. I thought it
Yeah.
was sooner, but yeah. So basically, they were doing tours of the Titanic where it sank, and they just did not. I mean, it was a billionaire who owned the company, and he took every single shortcut possible in making it. I mean, they did not you controlled it with a like actual off-brand controller.
Was it like a PS4 or something?
Yeah, it was an off-brand one. I think it was a SNES, so Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe GameCube. But it was just a really like old controller.
But do you think he did that for a budget thing, or do you think he did that for the culture?
Bro,
It's like if I'm gonna go out, it's gonna be buy a GameCube
That's
controller. You know what I
fair.
mean?
That's
I
fair.
feel like, dude, if I was a billionaire and I was like, all right, how do you want your submarine to be controlled?
Yeah.
Dashboard, panel.
That's lame.
I'm saying Xbox controller.
Xbox controller.
And they're like, okay, this has a drastically less buttons than we need to control the submarine. And I'll say,
ABXY.
I'll say, are you a professional? And they'll go, yes. And then I'll go, then it's gonna be okay.
Are you richer than me though?
Are you richer than me? Didn't
exactly.
think so.
Buster. Come on now. But yeah.
Maybe on your billion dollar submarine, you can have a dashboard, but I'll have an Xbox controller on mine.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing he said to me before he got imploded by the submarine.
Really? You know, I think I would actually. I think I'd have some good chances of catching a fish in a submarine. If you think about it. I don't know how you get the fish in, but.
How would you get the rod out?
Good question. You'd have to put it in like the pressure thing, the deep pressure chamber. just that fish would die.
Just the deep pressure chamber in the submarine?
Because they can live under there, but we can't. Yeah, that's crazy. How do they take that pressure? How do fish take like thousands of pounds of water pressure, but we can't?
That's a good question.
I wonder.
Hey,
I wonder. Yeah.
You know, what are you wondering?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I wonder if it's because they have like not as much oxygen in them when they do it through their gills. But what were we gonna say?
Oh, it's possible, yeah.
Well, they're just.
Did you hear that the Titanic's like going away?
What do you mean? It's already gone.
Well, no, at the bottom of the ocean.
Like it's eroding?
Yep.
Oh, really? From what?
Dude, so from like they did a picture. What do you mean from what?
Sorry, guys. Well, I mean like the salt?
I don't know.
Because I feel like there's older shit. Oh, I
But
guess
it's
those
eroding.
erode, though.
It's leaving. And so, and like, I think they said in like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. I don't remember the number. It could have been 5, it could have been 500.
Years, basically.
It's going to be gone forever.
Wow.
And so they're trying to recover it. In fact, they did try to recover it, but apparently it was really dangerous. And so they didn't recover it anymore.
How do you recover the Titanic?
You take 4 cables and you put them on each end of the Titanic.
Yeah, I guess
and then you
so.
lift it up.
Yeah, but then
And
it's just going to sink back down
is
again. It's not going to float. What
that
are they
thing doesn't
thinking?
float. What are they doing? You ever been on a cruise ship before?
Oh, yeah. I went on a Disney cruise, actually.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Did you?
How was it?
I had a blast.
This is how you have conversations, guys.
Yeah, well,
You ask them something about themselves, and then they talk for hours, Dale Carnegie style.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, screw your little Disney thing. We got to talk about how to have a conversation 101 with Owen and Alexander. If you're socially anxious, talk to us because we know what we're doing.
Yeah, winks to the camera.
No, we actually have no idea what we're doing. But Owen, how would you? Because this is a more interesting topic than your stupid Disney cruise.
Sure.
How do you go about being a social butterfly like yourself?
Mm. Well, I think it just comes down to honestly mostly.
Such a good question.
It is a great question.
Thank
you. I think people, and obviously, I mean, this kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier. You know, just do it, which is it's an easier solution than it sounds. But I mean, it's kind of realizing that if you talk to that person or not talk to that person, you're still gonna live and you're still gonna die, and things genuinely aren't gonna change. So talking to that person, I don't know. It's an action is better than no action.
I think it's like you only stand to
You're not
gain
gonna
from
die.
talking to the person.
Yeah.
And you have nothing to lose.
You literally everything you have to lose, in my opinion. I mean, obviously there's conversations where if you talk to them, it's like a high important conversation. But I'm talking about things like this, like having with people who have trouble just going out and talking to normal people. It truly just doesn't like matter as much. You talk to that person, and after that conversation's over, nothing changes except for whatever's left in your mind. So let's just say like you're on an elevator, right? It's awkward. You don't want to talk to anybody. It's only awkward in your mind, right? Like there's nothing about that situation that is actually causing it to be awkward other than your internal sense of it. So for me, when I sit there, I know that it's awkward, and I kind of accept that fact. And I it's not that I enjoy it, but I'm like, okay, it's gonna be awkward. So it is what it is,
Yeah,
like
you can find amusement in it.
exactly.
Like, I think that's what,
Find amusement
I
in
think
the things that are bad in conversations really aren't that bad. They're really not.
No, like that Hitler joke you made the other day wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
kidding.
so funny.
Just kidding. He didn't make Hitler. Like this is a good thing we're talking to girls too. It's like just find amusement in it. Like
Yeah.
have fun with it.
Like, what's gonna happen?
Like,
Truly.
What's gonna happen? Nothing's gonna happen. Or some.
Or
like,
whatever's gonna
whatever.
happen doesn't really
It doesn't
matter as
matter.
much as you think it's going to.
Yeah.
And so just talk to people without expecting
Expectation.
anything to gain or to lose. You know, just talk to people because,
For fun.
well,
for
I mean,
amusement.
humans
then also-
humans are social creatures. You know, we
that
need to talk to people.
and when you're 80 years old and you're gonna die,
Yeah.
are you really gonna be happy that you didn't go up and talk to that girl, or you didn't go up and talk to that guy, or you
Right.
didn't go up and no? You're gonna be like, I would rather have an awkward experience than no experience at all.
Right. You're not gonna regret getting rejected. You're gonna regret not going up to them and talking.
Yeah, and then you only stand to gain from any social interaction because you either learn or you win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you either make a friend, or you learn how to talk. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you get more comfortable. And it's like even if you have no lessons from it, you get more comfortable, which is in and of itself a lesson.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you go up and you're awkward talking, A, you know, who cares? B, it's not really a loss. It's okay. What did I do? And how do I make it better?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's tough, but
Did you ever struggle with being social, or did it always come naturally to you?
well, I still don't even think it comes naturally to me today. Like, I still don't always want to talk to people. I'm extroverted in the scientific sense of it's not that I like talking to people. That's not what extroverted is. It's I gain energy from being around people.
Sure. So you are extroverted.
I am extroverted, as in
Interesting.
just being around people, not even talking. Like, when I'm doing my homework in my apartment, I'm out in the middle of the apartment where everybody's doing their own stuff. I'm not in my room focusing only on the thing. I'm out in the apartment. And that's with homework, with where
There's
I don't
like the
need to
common
focus
area
too
in your
hard.
apartment or something.
Yeah, so we have
Like a lobby?
each room and their own, and then we have the kitchen, and we have an island.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like
We
with
have
your
a-
friends, not
Mhm.
with like a common area with other people in the apartment.
Right.
My fault. Keep
Right.
going.
Yeah, so it's our apartment, and it's our common area.
Like there's like you're in a 5x5 or whatever.
Right, 3x3. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I'm naturally extroverted, and I'll go out and do that. But I wasn't even
Interesting.
always like that. I realized eventually, I mean, I didn't really talk to girls. I didn't talk to like a single girl really until like no. It was like 10th grade summer, so sophomore year summer
Mm-hmm.
is when I actually started talking to women. And I didn't talk to a single one before that, which is crazy. And so I was kind of awkward. And I started to realize that I'd go out and I'd talk to people, and my life wouldn't actually get any worse. It would only get better because I was always thinking like, okay, the more I go out and talk to people, the easier it's going to get for me. The more I'm going to know what to say, and then it's going to come naturally to me. And I always had that strong mindset of literally what you said. Like, it's either it's successful and I'm happy because I did a successful social interaction, or it's not successful and I'm that much better because I did another talking point. You know, like if I talk to the 100th person of the day compared to the first, it's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And I always had that strong mindset. I really focused on that, and I did that especially with women. I mean, like that sophomore summer, I started doing that. I had a friend who also was interested in it, and we'd talk about it, and we'd be like, why are we not? Like, we wanted to get good at talking to girls, and I wasn't very good at it. And so I started doing it, and you know what? I started doing it really badly. And I kept doing it because I realized that nothing actually happened. And then I kept doing it until eventually I started to, And so, I mean, it's just realizing that your life is only going to get better from talking to the person, and then keep doing it until eventually you actually get better at talking to the person.
Not necessarily just girls, or it could be girls or guys,
Right, a person,
like
yeah.
friends, or because it is different talking to girls than talking to guys.
Absolutely.
For guys, what how would you recommend on a practical sense, like going up, talking? Like you can say go up and talk, but like what do you do?
Okay, that's fair. Well, what I did,
What do you say? Yeah.
well, what I do now.
Actually, I want to preface what you're about to say with this, and then I'll let you go.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I heard this thing on an Instagram reel, but I actually really like it. It's like 80-20. It's 80% just natural and 20% like skills. Like 20% of it is like tonality and like skill and like what am I gonna say, and then 80% of it is just being yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're trying to learn anything, learn that. Because if you're trying to learn like the specific niche, like how do I say this? How do I like the super like data-driven approach? Like it's only 20% of the way there.
Yeah.
Just focus on.
Oh.
You will attract more people and the right people if you are yourself over anything, over trying to be somebody you're not.
Yeah. Oh, and I want to add this. I think this is a very, very, very important point. I'll say the point and then I'll explain it. Don't put every person you talk to on a pedestal. You know, like realize that if you're talking and being yourself, which I know is hard and it's not something that comes naturally, but if you're talking and being yourself and somebody doesn't like you, that is okay because you're being yourself, right? Like if you don't want to have every single person like you. Like there's a thing I've heard about, and it's like you want to be a polarizing person. You can't expect everybody to love you. I mean, there's two types of people. There's somebody who's on a scale of polarization, like everybody, like there's love and there's hate on this scale, right? A lot of people try to be in the middle to where they don't want anybody to hate them, so they're not going to have people who are going to actually love them. And so they're trying to be a non-polarizing person. And I think for people to realize, to have people who love you, you have to have people who may hate you.
It's a line.
And
Like
so you
if you're
can't
here,
just put everybody on a pedestal. You can't have everybody love you. And so if you're going to be yourself and people aren't going to like you, that's something you have to be able to accept.
get that out of the way. No, not everybody's gonna love you. And so for me, and I'll let you get to the other thing in a second. For me, it's like when people react badly to what I've said, and it's usually a joke or an opinion I have.
Yeah.
Because I have relatively controversial opinions. Whatever. But it's like, I think of, is what I said, if I could think of an ideal version of myself, like 10 years, 20 years, 80, 50 years down the line, would that person have said what I said? And if the answer is yes, then who cares? You know what I mean? And if the answer is no, then change the behavior, not because of what they said, but because that's not the person that you want to be.
Right.
And so if you don't know who you are, that's fine. Who do you want to be? And then start acting more like that person, rather than who you are now. If you don't like who you are, and if you like who you are, then do your thing. But anyways, say what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Well, you had asked me the question earlier, is what I actually do.
Yeah, like on a practical sense. Because
Right.
if I was 10th grade me listening to this, I'd be like, well, that sounds great, but what do I actually say? What do I actually do?
Are you talking about talking to women or just anybody in general?
It could be friends, it could be women, it could be men.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking more to men because we are men. We're boys. We're boys. We'll get there. Yeah, so this is more probably direct. I don't know what you're about to say, but I assume it's going to be more directed towards.
Yeah, well, my answer, what I thought the original question was for a woman, but it's actually not even too different to answer, especially for me, because my approach is I don't just go up and approach and I don't know, I stay friendly with every single person.
Oh, yeah.
I keep it very similar with every single person, like friendliness level. And so I guess, I don't want to say
Is it literally just like natural? And when I say natural, I mean like it's off the cuff. Or do you have like preloaded like responses, or not respond, like start conversation starters, or like how do you walk up to like a girl, or how do you walk up to a guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So what I do, I actually keep it very cliche, which people, I feel like online especially, has sort of like a negative connotation, like a boring connotation. But I don't think people understand the importance of small talk and how it can really get you to where you need to go.
Okay.
Like,
this is cool.
and this is also something, that this is a political, like diplomatic speaking thing as well. Like, it's kind of like you can say a ton of words and not mean anything. That's all like, it's not all small talk, but these are just things that have already been said before. You don't have to be unique with every single thing you say. Like when I go up to somebody, whether it be a woman or a man, I will look at them, I'll look them in their eyes, and I'll do literally the most basic thing. I'm like, hey, I'm Owen, it's nice to meet you, and I'll shake their hand. And I feel like nowadays, like that's not something that people are even doing. Like you won't see somebody go up and shake your hand as nearly as often as I feel like you should. And so I
like that
honestly keep it cliche. And then I stay friendly with them. Like I don't go with intentions, because I don't. Well, it's not that I don't have intentions, but you don't know anything about them. You don't know them.
Yeah. What if
you're
you hate
meeting
them? You know, like,
Right.
what if you don't like them?
So just go and have that thing in mind of the polarization, and talk about the things you like, and talk about the things that you're interested in that they like. And if if they don't care about any of that and they don't care about you, then this is the most important part: is why do you care
And
what
then
they
also, you might not care about what they have to say, and that's okay too.
And that's okay. That's
You know what I
completely
mean?
okay, because you're your own person. You talked about the things you wanted to talk about. You talked about the things you were interested in. And if they're not interested in that, there is no reason to feel insecure about what you're.
There's 8 billion people in
That's
this
your
world.
interest.
Somebody else is interested
Literally.
in stuff that you aren't
And
interested even if it doesn't feel like it.
even if you are the only one interested in it, who cares,
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah.
And I know that's obviously easy to say.
It is easy to say.
It's amazingly easy to say.
Something that's encouraging for me is like, because I have a very niche interests, and so I find myself caring about what pretending to care about what a lot of other people think. Not necessarily pretending, but just like not act.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
I'm
pretending
actually
a little bit.
interested in what they say. That doesn't mean that I'm
Yeah.
gonna go out and do.
I'm interested in
everything,
what
but-
they say as a human.
Yeah, I like learning about everything. I like
Sure.
I like being the type of person who can have a
Yeah.
conversation or anything.
Like I don't care about football at all, but listening to somebody talk about something they're very passionate about for an extended period of time, that's interesting.
Exactly. If you're
what I
passionate
mean?
about it, I will totally have a conversation
For
with you.
sure,
about it.
yeah. And then it's like, yeah, you said it well.
Yeah.
So my question was like, on a practical sense, let's start with dudes. You're just going. Okay, let's say you are in, because this will happen. This is for like the freshmen in college.
Sure.
You're going to a club interest meeting or something, and everybody's sitting down, everybody's talking, and you walk in, you're solo. How do you sit down at that table? Hey, I'm Alexander. Hey, I'm Owen. Whatever. But where do you go from there? How do you get yourself in that conversation, or how do you start a conversation? Let's say you see somebody else sitting alone.
Sure.
How do you go up to them and start a conversation?
All right.
What do you do?
Yeah. Well, I'll come in first with the mindset of well, they don't know who you are, right? It's an interest meeting, right? And there's no reason for you not to be there. So it's not that they expect you to be there, but it's not weird for you to be there at all. So don't feel like it's weird. And then go in. It's tough. I mean, what I would do is it's honestly very simple. I would go up, I'd find an empty seat next to people, because 100%, if it's an interest meeting for a club, you go out and talk to people.
That is the whole
That's
point.
the
You
whole
do
point of
not
the club.
sit
Right.
and then sit in a seat and then go on your phone. You don't do that. You
No.
don't pull out your phone, period.
Right.
I make that a rule for myself. Like, just don't pull out your phone.
Don't pull out your phone unless you're adding somebody or something.
Sure.
Yeah. Go up, find a seat next to people, say, "Can I sit here?" And literally don't even start with a conversation. Just be like, "Hey, can I sit here?" If you're in a group of people, I don't think they would mind, unless you see they're very, very close friends. But honestly, at clubs,
And even if they
at
are.
college clubs, people are very friendly in my experience.
Me too. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to understand that you are in the exact same position as every other person there.
Right.
Like, everybody came there to talk to people.
Exactly.
And I know from experience that being the guy sitting on my phone alone, not in like college, but like high school, being my guy sitting on the phone alone, I would love it if some random dude came up to me and started to tried to start a conversation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so you
I'd
see that
respect
guy
it.
on the phone, and you're like,
Be that
go
guy.
up to them. So it's like, what I do, I have a line that works a lot. It's just like, "Hey, I'm Alexander. It's nice to meet you." They say their name, repeat their name, and
I'll
if
literally
it's,
just
if
find
it's,
a spot.
Yeah, if it's an interesting name, it's a very interesting name.
Yeah.
I usually say the line, I thought I would go, I usually just have a ton of fun with it and just make fun of myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just got here, I don't know anybody, kind of nervous. I thought I'd go holy crap. I thought I would go talk to a random stranger. "What's up, random stranger? How are you?" And we get into it, you know
love
what I
that.
mean? And so it's like, be fun. Like, be yourself, be fun. If you're,
Yeah. Well, sometimes people's problems is themselves wouldn't want to talk.
then be,
Yeah.
then it goes back to like, think of the ideal version of yourself.
I think
Be him,
Yeah.
be her.
Also,
you know, be
ask
that.
a lot of questions too.
By the way, let me
I'm
make
surprised
this
we haven't
clear.
said this yet. We're past an hour, by the way.
I'm surprised. Oh, are we? Oh, good. This is
Yeah,
great.
keep going.
I'm surprised you haven't said it. It is so important that they ask them questions. Like, in my conversations when I talk to people, I basically only ask
Me
questions.
too. They don't even notice it.
They don't know a thing about me.
They start talking about their passion. I'm really good at
yeah.
knowing what to ask to
Yeah,
continue the
100%.
conversation.
Like the Dale Carnegie style of just like I can keep a conversation going forever because they talk, if somebody can talk, you just keep them talking.
I
Like,
can
you
too,
just
yeah.
question, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool. What about this? You know, question. How got you into that? You know, keep going. Questions are so important. So important.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I start normally if I want to start a conversation with somebody I just met, like that club thing, I would start with asking a question about one of
Sure.
their like what they're wearing or their attributes. It's literally like the most basic thing.
That's a good practical tip.
It's literally the most basic thing.
It's a
That's
good
what I mean by
practical tip.
small talk. Like people are like, screw small talk. Like it sounds lame. No, it doesn't. You will be the most extroverted and conversational person if you can master
And
that.
it's something you'll notice is that if you're in a room, I was in a room in my class. It was a very small room, probably just the size of like this thing that we're on right now.
So not big at all.
Not big at all.
30
There were probably
students.
30 kids, like ton of kids. Nobody was talking. I see a guy with a Whoop band on.
Oh yeah.
Now I've been thinking about this Whoop band for a while. I want to buy it. I know it's $200 a month.
That's for the sleep, right?
And so I showed this is Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I showed genuine interest in the person that I was talking to. I said, hey, I'm Alexander.
And you were actually interested in it, but
And
you
I
could
was
also fake that.
no, genuine, like, yeah, you can fake it, or you can just find
Or you
something you're
can-
interested in about the person and then capitalize on that. And I was genuinely interested. I was like, listen, I was like, well, okay, so this is practical, because if I know that if I was somebody in the position, I would want to hear practical things. So here's it. I was like, I've got it with my seal book. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
sorry to bother you, dude. You know that wristband? It's the Whoop band, right?
Yes, sir.
He's like, yeah. I was like, how do you like that? Because I've been thinking about getting one, but it's like $200 a month. Is it worth it? And then, bam, you know what I mean? And guess what? This is what happened. Everybody was silent in the room. I start talking to them, and then somebody else comes in that conversation. Somebody else comes in that conversation. People will want to talk to you because you're talking to other people, and then now you're seen as the extroverted person. So I came in a room, everybody was silent. And then I talked to one guy about the most niche thing in the world. Somebody else hopped in. Now it's a four-way conversation. Everybody else started talking as well individually, because once one person opens up, more people will open up. You know what I mean? And so it's like, never think that because somebody's silent, they don't want to talk. They're just afraid to talk. So open them up.
Yeah. Humans are social creatures.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. Wow. That's a good way to
Such
put
a
it.
good conversation that we got at the end of the
Yeah.
podcast that everybody already left.
Yeah, I think it's time to
think
cut
it's-
this thing, man. I'm gonna be honest
I
with you.
think it's time to cut
the podcast and
as
this
well.
line.
I think it's time to cut both.
All
Hopefully
right.
I can get my line out. Dude, that's crazy that your line didn't touch water. It's hilarious. But yeah, hopefully, if you guys want to hear more advice about it, please tell. Like, what do you want us to do on the
Yeah.
podcast? Let us
What do you wanna
know.
hear?
We're sophomores in college, and so we don't know a ton about anything, really. But if you want to hear our opinions about stuff, feel free. And then if you want to share your opinions, feel free. We will always, we're in the comments set. We're going to be in the comments set. Obviously, we're a very small channel. As of recording, we actually haven't uploaded a thing. And so we will be in the comments responding to everybody. So feel free to comment. If you have a very niche question, feel free to ask.
We'll be there, yeah.
DM. We
We
respond
will
to all our
respond,
DMs,
yeah.
every single one. Which we can get into that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
we can get into that. And so, feel free.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the aowhodis podcast. Y'all stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
All right, that was a good one.
Oh, I loved it.
It was kind of rough towards the start to the middle, but that was a good conversation we had.